one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, we have 4 board members present, and Dr. Jackson was unable to be with us tonight. First up on the agenda is approval of the agenda and items to be tabled, postponed, or removed.
So on the agenda, one of the things I'd like to remind you too is to make sure that when you get here that your mics are on and that they're close enough to you that it's picking up your voices. The last meeting there was some that were a little light, so kind of make an effort so that we make sure we pick up everything. We would like to postpone or remove K3A, K3C, K3E, and K3F. Those are all in personnel.
Okay, superintendent asks that we approve the agenda. Any motion? Ms. King makes the motion. Mr. Nelson will second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. Approval of the minutes of the regular meeting from January 13th, 2025. Do we have a motion for approval? Mr. Hall makes the motion. Mr. Nelson will second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Any delegation?
We have none.
Okay, next up on the agenda is conduct a public hearing on the development of the 25-26 school calendar in accordance with 18.5-45 of the West Virginia School Law.
In front of you, I've provided you with the calendar once again for next school year. We've had no comments or questions about it. It has been out to, through the district leadership meeting to all of the schools. We've met all the rules about publishing in the newspaper. And so as later on tonight in the agenda, we will ask that you approve it as it is in front of you.
All right, superintendent report and academic update.
So I'm going to give you, first of all, part of the calendar is that annually we keep you up to date on where we are with using our NTI days, our equivalent time days. So I'm going to remind you that NTI days, we used on 12/12, January 9th, 10th, and 21st. And so we used 4 and have one more of those. We've used equivalent time, 6th, 7th, 8th, and the 22nd. We've used 4 of those. We also have had some 2-hour delays. December 5th, 20th, January 15th, and 23rd, we've had 4 of those. So I will put those into our formula to make sure that we're in good standings as we move forward. I shared with Mr. Nelson this morning, my good feeling of this morning was that I didn't have to talk about weather before I left my house. And I saw some sunshine. So all of those things were good. I do want to take a minute just to thank those that have, and Ms. Rice will do some of this as well. We've had a lot of people that have had to do a lot of extra work because just as in your homes, things don't always run like they should when it's cold. And we've had a lot of decisions to make, and we are blessed that our drivers have done an excellent job in getting our kids to and from school. And with your support, we've been able to maximize the time that we could get students to school safely. So we appreciate all the input and the efforts that go into making those decisions. Also in front of you, I have provided you with a little chart, and it says calendar summary. And I just want to, I guess the reason I gave this to you, it's a little bit of just general information. Of course, it has your board meetings in there and your LSICs that are coming up. But it also lets you see that, look, we have a county math field day coming up. Some of the things that you know we're doing, but it kind of gives you some dates with it. So I'm just going to point out a few of those. And then through the spring, I'm going to just kind of provide this every meeting with a few updates if there are any changes. We have moved the GSA benchmark to this week. That was supposed to be 2 weeks ago, but we've had a lot of issues with weather. County Math Field Day also was moved. It's now the 30th. Then in February, a reminder that we have your meeting in Charleston the 7th and the 8th. That's coming up soon. Young Writers is another state initiative that we support and have children participate in. That's coming due in February on the 10th. County Social Studies Fair is listed there as well. And then your board meetings, and then other days like professional learning days where students aren't in school. I will let you know if any of these dates get updated because of the weather, but as of now, this is what it's doing. We have a regional math field day, and then the county spelling bee is listed. Also list them in case you guys want to attend any of this. I can also get you more details of them. Ritchie County High School has their big test, the SAT test for juniors on April 9th. I think we will have a military signing for any seniors that will go in the military. That will be on the 10th. State Social Studies Fairs on the 11th. You got a copy of when there's at the time when we have the prom. It's coming up soon in April. Can you believe we're talking about like all this stuff? It seems crazy, but I wanted to get it out in front of you because you may need to make some plans. Then the GSA for the 3 through 8 is the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th of May. And then, of course, we go into preschool registrations. Senior Awards Night is another big night for you guys. And then one that I need to bring to your attention and then probably bring it to the next meeting is we have a conflict. I like going to 8th grade recognition, and we have a board meeting scheduled that night. So I would like to ask your permission to make an adjustment to the board meeting, because the middle school's already promoted when it's going to be. I hate to move it for parents. So if it's okay with you, I would like to get a date of either, I think that's a Tuesday, either move it to the Wednesday or Thursday of that week. So,
I have eight-year-old.
yeah,
I'm not eight-year-old.
eighth grader. You have an eighth grader. And-
myself.
Yeah, and I think Dr. Jackson.
You should have.
Yeah, he does too. So I think that's one that we need to move, if that's okay with you.
I have a grandson.
And you have a grandson? We need to be there. We've got to go to 8th grade recognition. So with your all's permission, at the next meeting, I will bring an adjustment to the calendar of our board meetings and get that reapproved. Is that okay with everyone?
Yes.
All right.
I have a question. Is there a regional social studies fair anymore, or do they go straight to state from the county?
There's a regional, and at the time I did this, they didn't have the date. They may have
So
it by
they
now.
will have one.
I do, yes, they do. And at the time, they were not sure if it was set, but I will get you that date.
Yeah, okay. And then, I just wanna, say that the snow removal crews at all the schools have done an excellent job in being bombarded with snow and snow. I mean, the sidewalks and the lots and everything.
And I think they've done an excellent job, and they've been very proactive with it, making sure that, oh, we're getting this much, if we get out on this day, get it off, it'll melt by this time, and it's made us be able to have a few games that we might not have been able to have, and to stay in school longer. So I appreciate you noticing that and mentioning that.
Yeah, I seen Brad one evening. I know it was dark. It was here. I know I passed him both weekend days.
Yeah.
He's on the move.
Yeah.
Well, we started out with, we had an issue at Creed that took us one whole weekend, and then after that, we hit the snow and the cold, and it's been a lot. But we do appreciate it, and they've been able to get a lot of work done.
Right.
So that's basically what I have. I just wanted to provide you that information. Yes, sir.
The news calendar updates, all these dates, I was looking to see if they had synced up when I did 2 weeks ago, that download from
Does it?
the website, and none of it, well, I should say, a lot of these aren't in your calendar.
Okay.
So we do need like prom and all those, they're not on the school.
Normally, they go in the high school. The high school's supposed to keep it
I'll
up,
check that.
but it's probably not.
I'll check that.
If
Well, I
it's-
looked at SAT, so that would have been.
In the high school.
So I'll look
Some
at
of it,
that.
if they're school specific, they should be in those,
Yeah.
but I will make sure they get those updated, since
Okay.
that is a better
And then
resource
I'll test out how well it works
to
with,
pull it in.
when you do updates to the calendar, how
I'm
either
interested to
double
see.
up on your calendar, or if it's already in there, or updated.
So
I'd say it'll double up.
Since you've
honestly.
downloaded it, I may send you a, hey, I've added this, see what happens. Did you download all of it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yes, ma'am.
So are we having the LSICs at the schools or not here?
We are having them here.
Okay.
Did I have that on the wrong? No. No.
Wasn't
They
sure.
like them, they were
That's
good,
what I heard.
they were good with them here.
Okay, good.
And felt like if you guys are, they'd like to continue them here.
Sure.
As Mr. Nelson pointed out, it's less disruption to their world, and, they felt like it went well here. I was a little worried about keeping them where they are. We're working, Ms. Kearns is first, and her test results are gonna get in later, because it's not till this week, but I think she's been working ahead, I think she'll still be okay to get those to you. If not, at the last minute, we may move it to another meeting, but right now, we're shooting to keep them where they are.
Another question about graduation. If the weather would be really bad and we miss a bunch of days.
Graduation is never moved.
Yes, we just wanted
Yes.
to get rid of it.
Yes, graduation, in the calendar resources that you are given, it states in the calendar that once you've set a graduation, it remains that day. So that's a good question.
So,
Yes.
For verification, the SAT date, the military signing date, and the prom are not in the District 3 I checked, they're not on the high
So
school.
the high school needs to update the files.
Yeah, on the main county event site where the high school site is.
All right, I'll let them know. All right, any other questions? That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Next up is director reports. Ms. Wright.
I guess kind of to capitalize on some of the things that you all have mentioned, I just want to say that since the holiday break, our maintenance crew has been working tirelessly through the snow, ice, and mechanical issues brought on by the frigid temperatures in January. They've been putting in very long hours, including weekends, rooftops, unloading and distributing food truck orders that can only get to one school and not all of them, digging trenches, plowing snow, just to make sure that our staff and our students are safe and warm. When you see them, please make sure that you give them a kudos. I mean, I had one maintenance guy that, as a result, and April and I talk about this, there's so many working parts to go into facilities maintenance. It's not just, okay, let's do this. We had an issue, what was it, 2 Decembers ago, that there wasn't heat in between the two doors. And because there wasn't heat in between the two doors, we didn't know one of the fire alarm bulbs burst, setting the sprinklers off. And so the entire entryway to the high school and that vestibule and in the entryway was completely soaked. So as part of a preventative measure, well, I checked the heat between the doors. One of my maintenance guys got up like on a Saturday morning because I just have a bad feeling. Even though he checked on Friday, he went to the school on a Saturday and looked, and by gosh, they were off. So we propped the doors open. I mean, it's things like this that have been so much on our minds that we just want to prevent and avoid. So if you see them, please let them know that it does not go unrecognized. Some school facility updates in addition to all the snow, ice, etc. We replaced a gas line at Creed Collins. We also did a repair at the solarium at the high school. We've done lots of HVAC repairs at the high school, middle school, and at Smithville, which includes controllers, motors, circuit boards, and long hours troubleshooting. We've also upgraded an alarm panel at the high school, middle school. There was a faucet repair and a line stop installation that we also did at the kitchen at Creek Collins. But the good news is that we had a fourth truck because our new maintenance truck was delivered, plow and all, on January 8th for Matheny Motors, and it's running really well. So the boys are really happy to have that. If you all look, there's a second page that has a sample of some of the things that we do in preparation for either frigid temperatures. This is just a small, be prepared for the weekend, this is what's coming, and so the bus garage pre-trips everything. They make sure all their buses are plugged in. We added extra layers of cinders, pat check the thermostats at the end of the day. We open up interior doors so heat is flowing throughout. The bathroom doors at the little people's schools, we had to keep those open because there isn't a heat source in there. So just kind of give you an idea of what do we do to prepare. Instead of responding to an emergency, we want to prevent them. Even here at the board office, we kept all the interior doors open so the heat was circulating and flowing. A new pass-through warmer food service updates A new pass-through warmer was delivered to the high school, middle school today, which I'm pretty excited about. It was replacing some outdated equipment that was from 1993, 1994. So they're pretty excited to get a new one. Ritchie County Schools will send 4 head cooks and cafeteria managers to the School Nutrition Association Conference in Morgantown on March 28th through the 30th. And it's funded by the Ritchie County School Service Personnel Council that was approved by our council on the 3rd of January, our meeting. On our Professional Learning Day, February 7th, they will feature a from scratch training from the Child Nutrition, or the Department of Education Office of Child Nutrition, and CESCO trainers will be coming as far as equipment training on a specific piece of equipment. So the cooks, all of our cooks will be at the high school, middle school.
She has it written in front of you as 17th, she said 7th, but I don't know if that's going to be.
Oh, did I say 7?
Yeah,
17th. 17th. Our participation rate data that I have been sending to you all is kind of a moot point at this juncture because we've had so many days that we've missed as well as holidays in between. So at the next meeting that I attend, I'll make sure to have those for you. But there is a little silver lining that our summer reimbursement rates for meals are increasing. So breakfast by $0.10 per meal, and then lunch by 17 cents a meal. So. Yes, sir.
Good. So at 3:15 when school's out, how are thermostats controlled as far as energy efficiency?
Depends on what school.
High school.
We actually have, in the summertime it's more so, we have the gym controlled so that it kicks on and off to appropriately cool if they're gonna keep people inside the gymnasium.
With an energy efficiency contract that
Yes.
has come in and has it all set, that
Yeah.
measures that and manages it, including like timing the technology that's on and that kind of thing.
I
So
mean,
it was
like-
managed through that.
I say that, we, like, on this approval, we have a $20,000 electric bill for the whole county, right? So like, I'm sure in the summer it's worse with air conditioner. I would hope at 3:15 when school's out on Friday that all thermostats are in the summer bumped up to 75.
I don't know the exact readings, but there is energy efficiency in there.
I don't know how well that's managed, and then in the winter, of course, you don't want things to freeze, but I saw one of the check items was to leave things on when it's super cold, I'm sure, to keep things from freezing, leave heaters on. I don't know how your thermostats are managed, because they can make a huge difference in your bill. I don't know how
They
well
are.
we manage the smart thermostats. If a teacher can leave it on as hot or cold as they want, and it just stays that way day and night on a weekend, how's that work?
Our other schools that, we have 3 schools that are part of an electronic monitoring system through our energy efficiency, which is Smithville, the high school and the middle school, that our technicians and maintenance guys can actually view all of the circuitry as well as the temperatures and controlling on a computer and an iPad. The 2 other schools, Harrisville and Creed, those are manual. So at the end of each day, our custodians are accustomed to going through to make sure the heat is turned off. Plus we have window air conditioners that are also turned off by the teachers every day. So it's a little more archaic than our other 3
Well,
schools, but.
I like all that, and it sounds good, but every one of those solutions requires a person to do something. Every one of them. None of that's automated, you say.
The way it's set up, the middle school, high school is on, and Smithville, because they predetermine, they preset when things
So
turn on.
3:15 does something happen on that?
Yes,
Okay,
unless
that's
you,
good.
unless you
Okay,
change
sorry, I
it.
misunderstood
And
that.
Smithville,
So you-
the only 2 that are not part of that system are Creed and Harrisville, which is manual.
And one of the ways we know that is if we don't make, when we go to graduation, the gym kicks on and off at certain times, and if we don't make an adjustment at the
Yeah.
time that it does, then it's really hot at graduation.
Or
So that
games,
shows you that,
yeah.
or games or something,
Yeah, yeah.
so it is automatically controlled, and it has been established what it should be set for energy efficiency.
That's
And
good.
it's set at that, and it kicks on and off at certain times, just like our technology will kick on and off for the energy efficiency.
I mean, I have to
exceptions.
remind Brad before graduation, don't forget graduation Sunday, fix the air conditioner, so, yeah,
Okay,
yes.
good. So the exceptions to that are Smithville.
No.
Harrisville and Creed.
I always turn my furnace off and air conditioner off, even on the weekends. I think most of us in my school.
Yeah.
That's why when the temperatures were gonna be as frigid as they were, teachers were so accustomed to making sure to close everything before they walked out the door. that we wanted, keep it on.
I like it, I'm glad you educated me.
Anytime.
It was,
We're just not giving you the answer.
I'd actually seen the ad because during the Christmas program in Smithville, I think Casey had more people show up than she anticipated, and it was on fire. I mean, Brad was there, I think he had his phone, maybe laptop, and he was standing to my left, and he was able to show me the temperatures in every room.
Absolutely.
And he was able to hit a button and adjust the AC down.
Nice.
I mean, just by standing there, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, that's cool.
And it's super helpful too in events like frigid temperatures or if it's wicked hot, that we are able to adjust those things to prevent emergencies or to prevent things from happening, so. Yes, sir.
I was trying to think of something to ask you.
I already got a message from you.
So how about that light?
I don't know which one you're talking about. You said adjacent. Is one of the solar lights?
Yes,
It's probably because it had snow on top of it.
the other ones were working.
Oh, maybe this one had more snow on it. I'll check it out and make sure.
Yeah.
But there's timers that are on those as well, so we will do what we need to. But I wasn't 100% sure when Teresa handed me the message.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't sure which one, and I brought it to Brad's attention.
Yeah, it's the one beside the building.
So if I'm standing and they're in that little horseshoe type area, which one is it? Is it 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock, or 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, or 3 o'clock?
If you're facing the building, it'd be 9 o'clock.
Perfect, that's what I need to know.
But it was more than one night too, I mean, it was just one.
Yeah, I'll fix it, I'll figure it out.
Those have been nice, that's been a nice addition.
They really helped with
Has
that
helped.
circle.
Has helped.
Yeah.
So-
Does it? It lights it up really well, but if it's not working efficiently, there's no point, so I'll figure it out.
Well, the most important ones were on the other side of the circle, so they were still working.
Good, that makes me happy.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
I can't think of anything else.
Thank you.
No sweat. Any other questions?
Not so Denny, thanks.
I'm trying.
That's what's saying, give him time.
Did you hear what I said? I already got your message. I knew he was gonna come up with something.
Well, I'll think about next time.
Hey, listen, I'm batting 1,000 though, so. But yeah, Denny, we are aware.
Okay.
Next up is consent items.
The first on the consent items I ask you to approve is the 25-26 school calendar that was presented early during the hearing. Also volunteer driver commitments, volunteer commitment agreements for the remainder of the year. Olivia McCroskey as a student of West Virginia University Parkersburg who needs to do some hours for her child development. Capstone at Smithville. Casey Sims needs to conduct her capstone at Harrisville. And Misty Dawson to attend a national out-of-state conference, and she is with our ABE program. I ask that you approve the consent items as listed.
Superintendent Hart requests that we approve the consent items as listed. Do we have a motion for approval? Mr. Hall makes a motion. Ms. Keen will second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Personnel.
In the spring, you will see, a number of additional personnel resignations soon, because we're starting to clean up, from our policy for service personnel that haven't worked, the 10 days that are required by policy, or the 20 days that are required by the end of the year, which is what I believe that it is. Also, in the next couple of meetings, we'll start bringing you some of the retirees. We're starting to get that information in. It all came in last week. So, but in tonight's meeting, I ask you to approve retro the resignation of Megan Arnott as a substitute, restricted substitute teacher, James White as the tennis coach, Miranda Elrod as the head boys basketball track coach at the middle school. I ask that you approve those resignations as stated on the agenda.
Okay, we have a motion to approve as stated. Mr. Hall makes a motion. Mr. Nelson second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 We do have some resignations after publication. One is Robbie Stewart, assistant boys track coach at Ritchie County Middle School. Paul Stevens, substitute bus operator, and Shayna Gribble, math teacher, Ritchie County High School. I ask that you approve those as stated on the record.
Okay, we have a motion for approval as stated. Ms. King makes a motion. Mr. Nelson will second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
employments or transfers or rescissions?
Under employment transfers and rescissions, we have B, D, and G. Kayla Sellers as the new secretary at Smithville. Veronica Stanley, a mentor for the PE teacher at the middle school, high school for the remainder of this year. And Chase Hyde as an authorized certified non-paid assistant for our wrestling program at the high school. I ask you to approve those as stated on the record.
Do we have a motion to approve K3, which would be B, D, and G? Mr. Hall makes the motion. Ms. Keene will second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Payment of bills.
I ask you to approve the payment of bills as listed, $205,076.42.
Okay, we have a motion to approve bills in the sum of $205,076.42. Mr. Nelson makes the motion. Ms. Keene will second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I have a question. Is this, I saw the mowing contract just now, I guess I didn't see it earlier today.
It'll come up in the next.
Come later, okay, I had a question on that. Thank you, sorry.
That's all right, good.
Alright. Financial request for approval.
We ask that you approve the supplements and transfers as stated. And as you look at the supplements and transfers, Ms. Wells does a much better job explaining these, but her notes are pretty good. We are moving from Fund 11, some money from Step 7 for a transfer, and to the General Fund 11, an explanation of movement of money for overtime subs, sub-salaries, and insurance, telephone, postal services. And then in carryover supplement, this is one of the things that she has to do, once she puts the money in, sometimes she has to reverse it. And so this is a reverse of the initial entry of the carryover for Fund 61 supplements, and a corrected entry corrected for the amount debit and credit entries needed reversed to add revenues correctly. And so that has to do with our annual carryover. And I told Denny I was reading that to you because that's much more technical than what I really understand it. That is a need. So I ask that you approve those, and under finance, we have a JSM Lawn Care is our mowing service, and we have an option for renewal, and this would be the same gentleman or company that did our mowing last year that would continue it this year. So I ask that you approve those items.
Alright, do we have a motion to approve the financial request as stated? Ms. Keene makes a motion. Mr. Nelson will second. Any discussion?
Okay. So I had a quick, on the mowing contract, I remember last summer, I didn't mow for 2 months and it was awesome at my house because it was so dry. Is there any, do we pay that no matter what?
No.
Is that,
We don't pay him, he submits those for when he does mow.
that's good, okay.
So it's not a monthly stipend, it's based upon how many times he mows.
Great.
Good question.
And this will be the last year.
This is the last year.
Yes, this is the last year, so next year we will have to rebid.
Okay, just curious, thanks.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'd like to request an executive session to discuss personnel. Do we have a motion for executive at 6:29 p.m.? Mr. Nelson makes the motion. Mr. Hall seconds. Executive session at 6:29. July. Good for that?
All in favor?
Yeah, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And there won't be anything that comes out of this executive session.
So you use business orders?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's
right, huh?
to return from executive session at 7:01 p.m. Mr. Hall makes the motion, Ms. King will second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Request for agenda items for the next board meeting. Okay, any board member or committee reports? Who's able to watch the boys playing St. Mary's?
Yes, we
What
were.
day was that? Not
Saturday.
all of us were there, I don't think.
Yeah, we both had a board meeting. It's been there.
Oh.
Me and Tori was on one side of the
You
fence.
were together.
We were not-
and-
Yeah, we were on,
and
we were
next
actually
to
on
the other
opposite,
side.
we were actually
We were
on
not
sides
all
of the court, so.
together.
Good to know.
I was at the Bahama game, not the same.
But it was nice to
Tori will
see.
never leave you people again.
It was nice to see the boys play. That was the first one I've got to see. All right. So the next regular meeting will be held on February 10th here at 6 p.m. here at the Ritchie County Board of Education office. This will also include the annual meeting with Smithville Elementary School, Local School Improvement Council, per West Virginia Code 18-5-15. Do we have a motion for adjournment at 7:03 p.m.? Mr. Nelson makes a motion, Ms. King second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Jason and I were in the Pittsburgh gym